Hello, welcome to the channel. I am afraid that my mic is going to go low battery on me, so I'm gonna keep doing that throughout the video. Probably annoying. But anyway, so today I want to talk about how life these days can't be faked as much anymore. I feel like, especially as we're going into 2030, can you believe it? 2030. There are a lot of things that we can no longer do in secrets, meaning there are not a lot of things that we can be two-faced with. I think when you don't have as much technology uh, in society, you can get away with a lot. When we didn't have phones on our cameras, when you can be faked in public and then be an extremely violent person in behind closed doors with to your spouse, for example, to your children. And in society you are basically a very upright, with extremely good reputation type of person. But I think you can't do that now as much. I feel like we are coming into the age where we are have to live an authentic life. And I think in today's society, the corporate world is the one that having a lot of adjustment with this, because with Gen Z, right? Like Gen Z is basically very casual in the way they bring themselves to work, and it's quite hard, I think, for them to have a very I'm not talking about boundaries, but like to have a different personality at work than you do in real life. And to some degree they probably understand that you probably have to do that, but I think the degree is quite different than before, maybe in the 1990s and the 1980s, where you can't wear a skirt if you're a man at work, for example. It can be quite scandalous, and there are a lot of like rules and restrictions in society everywhere in the world where you basically have to create a different personality at work than you do at home. And I feel like these barriers is coming down so much that we can't have split personalities, we can't have different mask for different situation as much as we probably used to have as a society. And I think that's a good thing. I feel like when we realize that we are a human being, we are only have one life, and faking ourselves, especially at work, because usually work will probably be consisting of like a lot of our awake time. I'm not sure how it will be moving forward from 2025 or maybe in the 2040 or 2050. 20 years from now is probably going to be a very different landscape altogether, because one of the reasons why I chose being a solopreneur and living off the internet is so that I don't have to mask, I don't have to put on an air, I don't have to go through all that, basically like faking yourself so that you can receive money, so you can sustain yourself in society. And if you have like a corporate job, most of the job that you're doing is probably not as hard. The hardest part is playing the political game, playing the intrapersonal game with your boss, with your colleagues, with your clients. Is the people to people that is relationship that is hard to manage, and not being yourself, having to either lower yourself or being very different than who you really are. And for me, like that takes a lot of health toll. I can't fake myself, and that really gets me in trouble a lot, because if I because I have to choose, right? If I fake myself out of a situation, I will get sick. Literally will get sick. my body will start shutting down. So for me, it's really a health issues. I can't do that like legitimately. And I think moving forward, it will be the norm. I hope like by the time it's my grandchildren's generation, I don't have kids, and meaning like, two generation removed from me, meaning that's the meaning of my grandchildren's generation, meaning like two generations removed from me, that they can be who they are and still make money and don't have to camouflage themselves like I have. It's as if that we all have to be this one version of personalities that will fit into a certain box, which is not the case. I mean, we are all more similar than we are different at the end of the day. So that much is given. But I think because that is the case, I think that's why we want to focus on our individuality, on our uniqueness. And I think that should be given the chance because we are here a very short period of time and we don't want to waste that being someone else that we're not. And at the speed of things changing, I think we will have the chance to see it happen, hopefully. I mean, like, the grandma generations of 2025 is what, maybe in their 80s, in their 90s, 70s. They probably have seen a lot of change in their lives, and they've seen like now Gen Z can be who they are and still have employment, for example. And that's probably could not happen in their lives, in their lifetime, probably when they're first starting out into the society. They probably aren't able to be married and have a job, for example. But now we are expected to have a job and also be married and do housework, which is probably going backwards in some way. But I feel like changes are bound to happen, and moving forward, we can't be not authentic. I think the only way forward is to be authentic and be ourselves, and that change is coming, and you can't hide in secrets anymore. I think the faster you get used to it, the faster you can be yourself. I think you will be more ahead than the people around you. And when changes happen, that will support that system more than the current system, then you will be adjusting a lot faster and a lot better. And so, yeah, I just want to talk about that like this shortly. I guess this is a short video because it's important to be authentic, and I guess now is the time to do that because I think it will be rewarded a lot more compared to in previous years, in previous decades. Being who you are now is a lot more important. Like things that used to be hidden in the shadows are going to be pulled into the forefront, and we are not allowed to keep like deep dark secrets. Like last year, case of Diddy and stuff like that, and this year, like that Blake Lively incident with Justin Belladoni. I don't know his last name. It's like the separations between reality and the reality that you want to portray in society to society, and the reality that is actually who you are is not going to be there as much anymore. Who you are is going to be who you are. And if you have conceived a very different personality in public, that is going to be destroyed. So I guess the faster we are at being ourselves, the faster it is that we get to where we need to be. Yeah. Anyway, that's today's reflections. A bit short, but I think that's enough. Be who you are. You'll be okay. Anyway, my name is Valerie. I am a solopreneur on the internet, and I will be here every 7 p.m. on Wednesday. So come like and subscribe. If you want to check out my other works on the internet, the links are on the description box below. And I will see you later. Bye, everyone.